Hi, so my name is Arlene and I'll be talking about my art project today. So, the art activity that I would use, the materials would be butcher paper, shaving cream, scented dye, glitter, styrofoam balls, and toy utensils. This activity is aimed for 2-year-olds. Now, I've used the butcher paper before for another art activity, but it wasn't a good idea because it was actually inside the classroom. So we had put it on the floor, and that was not a good idea because the butcher paper, if you ever used it, is very slippery. So the students slipped on it. So yeah, definitely not in the classroom. But I would love to use this outside of the classroom because it is very long, and so you can cut it to where you want to like where you want to gauge like whatever that is. And the number of children I would plan this for is 6 to 8 children. But this is so special because art really promotes social, physical, the cognitive and emotional growth for our children, our kids that we're teaching. And so emotionally, it's gonna let the children be creative and really put their emotions on paper with the items that we give them. So I think that's why it's important to pick the right materials as well. And they're gonna be able to learn how to communicate through art, which is a good thing because at 2, children don't exactly know how to communicate effectively. So this can definitely be an outlet for them. Stand back and reflect and let the child themselves figure out those little small issues that they have, which goes a long way. Their social development, which helps children value the work that they're doing, and sharing, which is a big thing at that age they don't really like to do. They like to say mine, 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 everything's mine. Taking turns, which is also difficult for them. To clean up their mess. I currently don't have a smocks for my kids, but I should get some. Physical growth is learned through movements like coloring, which they do a lot of coloring, drawing, they use markers, scribbling, which is normal for their age, molding, like Play-Doh, they love Play-Doh. But the activity I planned will definitely take place outside. In our outside area, there's a lot of space, so I plan to do 4 kids at one table. And so I'll have 4 and 2, or you know what, 3 and 3, or 4 and 4, since I'm doing 6 to 8 kids. And also the type of materials, I would need no equipment because we have the benches provided, but the materials I will need is smocks if I get them in time, like have them available, shaving cream, glitter, butcher paper, scissors to cut, styrofoam balls, scented dye, and toy utensils. The only boundaries I would set for the students is just to keep the shaving cream on the butcher paper, but they're gonna have a lot of space, so they should be able to. I will motivate them by drawing their attention to their art and supporting them with questions. I will also leave tools on the table for children to use while encouraging them. So just a lot of open-ended questions, not placing like a label or any type of judgment on the students' work, but allowing them to explain to me what they created, or even if they don't have a response, just observing that and seeing them experiment in that way. And I can meet the needs by including a simple teaching, by allowing children to be capable on their own, and I will meet them where they are at. So I don't plan for this to go perfect at all. That's why I'm bringing glitter. Like, I'll bring different colored glitter, um and they could pick it, and whichever ones they want to use with their styrofoam and glitter they can do. Or I also thought a scented dye, like, food coloring dye, but scented, like lemon and grape, to create an important memory for them and a new learning experience. It's supposed to be fun for them. They're just 2 years old. It's not going to be perfect at all, but you're still teaching them, so it can still be a very fun moment as long as you're prepared in the right way. But thank you for listening to my video. Have a good night. Cognitively, the child is gonna learn through exploring and experimenting with the materials you give them. So, of course, it's important to be mindful and also solving their own issues, and like not us doing it for them, but just being able to observe and let them really dig in for themselves and see what they like and the colors they're using and what they prefer and the different textures that you give them.